Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to start talking about things in my life, things that are going on currently, things that have gone on in the past, and I'm going to try to bounce off of everything. And we're just going to have conversations and good time with it. I was going to start actually in when I opened Hair Teenies because that was kind of the middle of my life. I was 30 years old. I just left a difficult marriage. He was very controlling. More over my emotions than anything else. He was able to play me like a fiddle. I wasn't allowed to do much. And then when I was allowed to go, it was always a problem. I had to rush home. I really felt very stuck, I had three little kids and he didn't work much. So I worked more and he was going to college and actually not going to college. So there's a lot of history there. But I don't want to focus on all of the negative all the time. I want to focus on how I overcame and healed some of these situations. So when I decided to leave that marriage, it was honestly because I looked at my children. And the day that I left, it was just I was not being a good mother anymore. I had been worn out. I had no support from really anyone, not family wise. My husband had controlled my mind and my thoughts and had convinced me to take medication because he thought that I needed it. The medication ended up making me extremely tired and extremely not myself. And I lost myself over the 7 to 8 years that we were together. It chipped away at me until I didn't even recognize the woman in the mirror anymore. And the day that I decided to leave, my daughter had helped cover me up with a blanket, and my son asked me to go play ball, and it was a warm January day. And I was like, I'm tired. And he was like, you're always tired, Mom. And I heard that for some reason, it resonated in my soul. And I was just like, get up and get out there and play with your kids. So I went outside and the sun was so bright and Isabel looked like she had rainbows in her hair. And, sorry. I don't know how to edit yet, so we're probably gonna have to like work through these moments. Anyway, and I played ball with my kids that day, and it was so hard. It was really like completely exhausting. Like I didn't know if my arms would lift up. I was that tired. But looking at my daughter's hair and looking at my son's smiles, I just decided at that moment that I was not gonna let them think that this was the mother or the woman that I was meant to be. And I looked at my daughter and just thought, if I continue to live this way, she's going to think that it's okay to be treated this way by everyone. And my sons are going to think it's okay to treat everyone like this. And because I tolerated it. So after that moment, I went into the house and I started going through um, albums and albums of pictures because I just was so messed up in my head. And as I was sitting there looking through all the photos, I didn't even recognize the person I had been with. I didn't recognize myself anymore. Let's face it, we can all be toxic at times and we can all be difficult at times. And I'm sure we've all played the narcissist and the empath at times unknowingly. I think it's part of your soul journey to get to where you need to go. But some people never grow beyond that point, and he was not, and I don't feel that he ever did. And so I looked at the pictures and I just said, I think we need to separate because I can't do this anymore. And he was very angry at first, more because I felt like he lost. He wasn't winning anymore. We did separate at that point for a couple weeks, and then we tried to make it work a few weeks later, and I just looked like death after he moved back in. I lost all the light in my eyes again, and I was like, I knew then that this was the right decision for me. So at that point, we absolutely separated, and I got my own townhouse, and I started to rebuild my life. I left with I was making about $75 a week, up to $200 at times. I'd saved basically 2 months of child support and did not pay my mortgage so that I could get a townhouse for me and my kids. And I painted it whatever I wanted, and I did not get a security deposit back, but I didn't care. I wanted them to feel like they had a home, like they left. That was one of the most difficult periods of my life, rebuilding myself. I would look in the mirror every day, which is one of the reasons I feel that Skin Teeny is so important with self-care. And I would just stare into my eyes, into my soul. I wasn't even looking at the face anymore. I was looking at past that and just like, how do I make this better? How do I love myself, if I ever loved myself to begin with? And so my very first exercise that I did all alone is that I would stare in the mirror until I could say one good thing about myself. And I did that every day. And I can't tell you how long I did it. I did it every day until I didn't hate myself anymore. And some days it took 20 minutes. And some days it took 5. But it was extremely beneficial to me at my life at that point, because I had lost myself so deeply that I didn't think there was anything good left about me. And for anyone else out there struggling with that, go look in the mirror. Don't look at the body. Don't look at the eyes. Don't look at the face. Look at the soul. What is your soul saying to you? What do you need to say to yourself to help heal that soul? And when you start speaking to yourself better, I'm going to tell you what, it changes the world for you. Like, I can't explain it. Like, I was scared to death to leave. I had three small children, 6 and under. Not a high paying job at that point, because he did not want me to work, and he kept chipping away at my schedule and saying I was taking away from the family and not being a good mother. And that was part of the reason that I lost some of myself, because I just felt like I couldn't win no matter what I did. But fast forwarding now to where I am now, I don't regret any of those moments or any of those times, because I would not be the woman sitting here today who has accomplished what I've accomplished, who loves herself. I mean, it's still a daily battle, but I love myself now. And at some point, I had to realize that even the painful parts of my life, the ones that I wish I could forget, they made me. And if I'm going to love the woman I see in the mirror, and if you look past the woman in the mirror and into that soul, and you're going to love yourself, then you have to forgive yourself, number one, for everything. And you have to forgive the other people that have hurt you, which sometimes it takes time. You know, there's phases of forgiveness is like grief. There's layers. So give yourself time to do that. I mean, you don't have to rush it, but like really speak better to yourself. Really get into the things that make you you, and don't deprive yourself of those things. I don't care if it's a bubble bath, like once a week, where you put headphones in and you give yourself a minute. I don't care if, for me, it was my skincare routine, which is here I am. But those 5 minutes twice a day, I closed my door, and it was like my spa moment. And I put my lotions on and looked in my face and reminded myself of how important I am, the job I was put here to do, and like the growth just from those beginning things is immense. So I'm going to say goodbye for today, and hopefully the next video I'll have a much happier story, because I have much happier stories too. But I just wanted you to see how I started Hair Teenies, which I didn't finish, but that's the beginning of my story. And we'll pick up on Hair Teenies when I come back. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Speak better to yourself. Love yourself. Surround yourself with goodness and kindness, and you will get goodness and kindness back. Have a great day, guys.